that capitalism faces today. This government was determined to make students, young people and workers pay for the crisis. But we didn't cause this crisis. The bankers, the black hats and the financial speculators got us into this mess, and it is them who should take the full responsibility of their actions. Yet they get bailed out whilst we get sold out. And we say no. No longer will we pay for the bankers' mess. Young people and workers are beginning to stand up to resist these attacks. I, as part of the Jarrow March, have walked all the way from Jarrow to London in protest against these government measures. I've been walking down the country, we've been through towns and cities and seen the impact that the cuts have had. From ex-mining villages to large deindustrialised cities, we've seen empty houses and factories, empty office blocks and abandoned building sites. Jobs and opportunities are being ripped out of the heart of communities to pay for this crisis. We've collected thousands and thousands of signatures from people up and down this country who are opposed to the cuts and what it's doing. For too long, the government of this country have refused to listen to us, but no longer. The mass movements growing in Britain and across the world will force governments and leaders to listen or to stand aside, because we will build a new society. Today we carry the demands of the Jarrow Marchers on its last leg to Downing Street. We demand that EMA be brought back and tuition fees be abolished, so that young people have the right and the ability to go to education without having to take on an economic financial burden. We want decent jobs with decent pay, so that young people aren't exploited in the workplace. We want to scrap the workplace schemes. We don't have to work. We shouldn't have to work for a dole. We shouldn't have to work for £50 a week. We want decent apprenticeships with decent training, so young people can afford to live once they go and learn. We want social housing, decent social housing, so that young people aren't forced to stay at home and be a burden on their families, or to live in a small room in a building with other people. If this government refuses to fulfil our demands, then we will create a new society where the mass wealth generated by working people all around the world is used for working people and not for the fat cats and those at the top. This government is set on course for a return to the appalling conditions of the 1930s that forced the 200 men to walk from Jarrow all the way to London. But we are fighting back. We won't be a lost generation. We will fight for jobs and education. Thank you.